So many people gathering and shaking hands and smiling and hugging each other like a big family affair, a big welcome back. After last year, we had a great banquet right here. This is the 2023 Spring FCA TRIAD fundraising banquet, and we want to say welcome and thank you for being here.
Good evening. On behalf of the Guilford TRIAD Board of Directors, I just want to welcome you. We're so grateful for your presence, for your support. This ministry is just so impactful, and it wouldn't be what it is today without your support, so thank you for that. Let's go to the Lord in prayer.
Then sings my soul, my Savior God to thee. How great thou art.
I did see this on the rundown, and there are two songs in church that can guarantee tears for me. Amazing Grace and How Great Thou Art. And I said I wasn't going to cry, but that was my mom's favorite, my mom's absolute favorite. So thank you, Michelle. Thank you guys so much. That was just beautiful. So our title sponsor is new this year, and we're so excited about this relationship. We would like to recognize Couture International Holdings, LLC, and we have the Chief Operations Officer, Lothario Boyd, who's going to come up and say a few words.
Couture International Holdings has been around for a long time. A lot of you don't know it because it is a private company. But our charge is to model ourselves in the same way that Christ lived, and that is to be a resource for those who need it, to serve the underserved, and to be a voice for the voiceless.
As you all know, I'm the founder and CEO of Couture International Holdings. I grew up in a family home with a very praying mother. I think my name was Church. The young people today, they have so many distractions and so many different obligations and pressure, especially being an athlete. So I always come back to the same thing. If they have a strong belief in the Lord, and they have a foundation, when we let them out there in the world, that foundation is always going to come back to bear.
A warm thanks and welcome to all of you for being here. I look around the room and I see a bunch of people that I've known for such a long time, so it's like family. We may have a few people who are here for the very first time, and so we appreciate all that you have done and all that you will continue to do for our ministry. I've got something special I want to do tonight. We'll give you a few stats to let you know that we're really jamming in the ministry. The ministry is blowing up. But I want all my staff to come.
What we do in the college area, we want them to own their faith. We want them to be the leaders. It's their first time. Y'all know this if you've had some that went off to school. You want them, when they leave home, they've got to own what they believe. They got to know it. They got to live it. And that's what FCA is about. We want them to really understand that vision and that mission. We want their lives to be transformed.
So, long time ago, back in 2011, was able to hire Jimmy, brought on Jeff, and it was us three covering the entire, 12 counties. We had quite the work cut ahead of us, but I wanted to tell you this. Where God has brought us to right now is absolutely just prayer that we have been, that we've just had going for years and years, and brought on Wayne, and Wayne just elevated the entire program.
The vision of the Randolph County FCA is to impact our county, our community, our family, our athletes, our coaches with the love of Jesus Christ.
Just to be a great blessing to be able to be a part of FCA for so long. And I do thank you for your support. Thank you for supporting this great organization, which is the only really organization that can get free access to schools. And we know how important that is for our FCA to be able to be in schools.
And it is a unique pleasure to be able to serve FCA and to have the access that Coach was just talking about, to be able to step into a coach's office and to be able to listen to what's going on in his life and with his family, or his or her life or her family, and be able to pray over her and to be able to share the gospel with coaches and with athletes.
To drive that forward. So we see that. So impact. Everybody say impact. The ministry makes sense. More young people come to Jesus Christ through FCA than any church. More individual young people come to Jesus Christ. They have a relationship with Jesus Christ than any church in this country. And so when you see what we're doing, it's worth the investment. The ROI are souls being saved, people coming into the knowledge that they may not have had before about who Jesus Christ is, and they can help to advance the kingdom of God.
Born in Watsonville, California, he and his wife Tamika have 2 sons, AJ and Ace. It is this Hokies' distinct pleasure to introduce to you the head football coach at the University of Virginia, Tony Elliott.
What I would encourage everybody in here as I get ready to share my testimony is that you have to be tested in order to have a testimony. And the beautiful thing about the awesome God that we serve is He will take your mess and He will turn it into a message. I had anger, I had resentment, I had bitterness, I had no need for a spiritual foundation. I was going to do anything and everything of myself, right? I felt like I had the mental capacity and the passion and the drive to do it until I got to the end of myself. And at that point, when I surrendered my life, in my bedroom that day, when I told God that I'm gonna give it another shot, is when purpose really started to come about in my life. And if it wasn't for FCA, then I wouldn't be the person that I am today, right? But football and sport, right? It forces you, right? Regardless, to come together. And so when you ask why is FCA important, it's because FCA is helping the future leaders in industry become future leaders in the faith. This ministry and the impact that it's making, not just here in the TRIAD area, but all over the country, right, is profound. And so I challenge you to continue to sow seeds. And sometimes that seed may not be monetary. It may be time, it may be talent. Whatever you can sow it. My encouragement to each one of you is continue to give of your time, your talent, and your resources to FCA. And trust that the seed that you're sowing is going to reap a harvest of reward, right? Understanding that the bounty of the harvest is up to the good Lord. Because you know what? He put everything inside that seed that it needs to produce the fruit. We don't determine what's inside that seed. We're just responsible for sowing that seed. And then we allow God to bring about the growth.
I missed one of our newest and upcoming staff persons, the gentleman with the lovely baritone voice, Samuel Ponder, will come up. If you would come up, please. He is going to be our future area director for Guilford County.
Thank you again. Good evening. 25 years ago, I began my journey in pastoral ministry working with youth. And God allowed me to see some amazing things happen in the lives of young people. And though it is true that our youth and young adults are being challenged at a level higher than any other time in history, the fact still remains that God is the same yesterday, today, and forevermore.
At this time, Steve Andrews, who is a part of our executive committee, will come up and he will close us out in prayer. He is one of the key leaders of C12 here in the Triad. Steve?
I don't have many original thoughts, so many of you may have had this same thought when Tony was speaking. Thinking about our area. How many Tonys are in our school system right now? And are we doing everything that we need to do? Everything that we can do to get the truth of the gospel in front of those young people? A life rescued and redeemed. Are we doing what we need to do? So you may have responded, maybe you want to rethink that response. You may not have responded. Maybe you want to. I pray that the Lord will prompt you to do what He wants you to do.